Hey folks, welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 2nd of September 2021. Today we're going to have a look at liquidity exploration patterns. And this is kind of a recap from a previous webinar that I did for, I think it was FX Street several years ago, which was entitled Trading Like the Banks. And so we're going to look at these these patterns, these high probability patterns that are occurring, and then help understand what they are, what they're doing, and maybe help us take advantage of them. Okay, so if you look at like a price chart of whatever it is, this happens to be the pound American dollar. So just zooming out a little bit, you can see that we have a high and we have a low. Okay, and you can see that we have a higher high, a lower high, and a lower low, and so this is likely drifting lower. And going to the daily chart, you can see very clearly that this is the case, where we've kind of formed the top and now we're slowly starting to go down, and we have some liquidity voids that we need to rebalance here. Yeah, that pretty much does it. And then of course we have this one down here. Okay, so we have the origin of this move, which goes to the high here, is here, and there is this, and there is this here. Okay, and this is interesting to us because when you have a departure like this and you have a liquidity void in place, price typically likes to rebalance. Okay, so we can expect price to rebalance at some stage. Okay, and you can these are fractal, of course, so they're happening on the 1 minute all the way up to the monthly. But this is what we can see currently. And here on this chart, we go to the 4 hour again, you can see that we have a high and we have a low. And so what we like to do when you see a high or a low form, we have a couple of things that we can do to help us remain on the right side of the market. So I'm just gonna, where is it? Rectangle. So what we like to do is we like to mark off different sides of the market. Okay, so we are selling because the daily chart showed us this, so you go from the high to the low. Okay, and then we have the buy side. Should we feel inclined to buy, this goes from here to here. Okay, and so what this is doing here, it's showing us where we have real supply and demand. Okay, and so here we have this area that was formed below price, and this was formed on the green side of the market, so that tells us that this is okay to buy. Should this have formed on this one, then we can't do it. Okay, and so if we were looking at this one, actually we can't use that one because price had not come down, but looking at this one here, we have an area of supply, and this was formed on the red side, and so we can sell here. And the reason that this is important is because we have to understand where we have premium prices and where we have discount prices. And when you look at something like this, I mean, this is like the 50% mark here. Okay, and then you have the expensive end, and then you have the high end. And when it's the red box, selling at expensive prices is good, buying at cheap prices is good. And so we want to essentially be focusing on selling at high prices. And I've done this many times in the past, where if we're selling, there's never a 10 out of 10, but we have a 9. Oops, that was a bit of an ugly one. Let me move my mouse pad over here. So we have a 9 out of 10 here, and this is a 1 out of 10. Okay, and so the higher price comes to the high, the higher the likelihood the price is going to move lower from there. Okay, and so if you're operating in the middle, this is maybe a 5 or a 4 out of 9. And so operating down here in the middle here it's okay, but you don't want to be selling. You don't want to be selling in the lower half of the red box, and you don't want to be buying in the upper half of the green box, because this is simply this would happen at a very bad price. Okay, and so what you need to do is you need to focus on the upper side, the upper 20% of this box. Then you want to buy at the lower 20% of this box. So we have it here and we have it here. So this is where we sell and this is where we buy. And looking at this now, you can actually see that we do have an area of supply that is formed. This trade has already happened. So if I just remove this, the software told us about this. So the box was formed. This was the low of it. Price left. We formed the red side, sorry, the green side of the box, and now price came back and retested that. And so when you have a turning point like that, when you have a price point where price comes from an origin and moves all the way down and it turns around, I mean, there's a reason that it's turning around there. Price would not move from here to here unless there was a significant amount of buying below price, okay? And also note that we have the beginning of the sell zone, which is in place, which is just here. Okay, and once this one formed, the beginning of the sell zone was right here. And I say right here because this is right here. You can see there's a pattern where price goes up and it pulls back. The slingshots pull back and then price leaves. And so this is a really nice price. Okay, so this would be the buy zone for this area of demand, and this is the sell zone for this area of supply. Okay, and also note here that we have how price kind of turned around here, and then price came down here, and then it left. This is different than this. Okay, this is a very obviously like a very gradual period of value of distribution, and this is a very quick one. And so when you see something like this, it's probably reacting to something over here, and you can also already see now that we're actually operating at a buy zone just here. See, price came down, we left. We had another go, we left. So we know that there's that down here is price sensitive because last time price came here 2 times, it moved all the way up there. So we know that if price comes below that and moves into this area here, that these are discount prices, and there's a very high likelihood that price moves away. Okay, and so we have a similar thing going on here where we have this area of supply just here. Okay, last time price got close to it, it turned around. We had another go, and it turned around. And so here we have that black space just here, which is similar to what we can see here. The sell zone is established. We have this nice black space. This just means that we have a price imbalance that needs to rebalance, so a liquidity void, and the supply originates from here. So this would be an interesting area to sell at, and this one here would be an interesting area to buy it for the same reasons that we discussed over here. Okay, so this is just something that you want to try and keep an eye on. And historically, what I would do, or what I was told to do, is to just put a limit order in at the area, at the line, and take the trade. So my entry would go here, my stop would go maybe 2 times the size of that, and my exit would go at an opposing area of demand, which, well, we don't know just yet. Currently there isn't a lot. We have something down here, but something could form here. We could get something that goes like this and then goes up, and then this would be our opposing area of demand that we would use to cover this short here. Okay, but we don't know it because we can't see what price has done until, sorry, up to this level here. So that's what you would do. But what you can do as well is, instead of just jumping in at this, you can notice that that we had just here, that we had a couple areas of demand. Okay, we had a parent, we had a child. The parent was tested several times, and price tried to move below it, but it failed. You can see we tried here. Oops. We tried here and here. See, all of these tests came down to this level. And then price finally left. Okay, price came down, it moved back up, and then it left. Okay, so the origin of the move that removed this parent and this child is right here. So this is the one you trade. So this is the one that you would focus on trading. Okay, and you never know where these areas are located until they're formed. Okay, you don't know that price is gonna go down until it goes down. You don't have to guess. All you have to do is wait patiently until the real intention is shown to you. Okay, so when price leaves like that, then we have a very good indication that there was a keen intent on selling here. And note as well that price had spent quite a lot of time up here distributing. We had a very nice extended period of value just here. Okay, we had a few attempts to run price higher, so exploiting the liquidity available above these highs here in the form of stops that are required in order to fill the position that would bring price lower here. But so this is quite a lot of time that price is in this area here, and so the longer price spends in an area, the lower the amount of liquidity available at the area. And you say that because if price is at value for an extended period of time, then people are transacting, people are happy buying and selling from each other. But when price leaves, it comes down, it moves sideways, and then it leaves, well, this is not a lot of time. And so maybe not everybody was able to trade because they're in bed, or the markets were out of session, or whatever. Spreads were too wide, conditions were poor, and so you didn't trade there. And so it's just a matter of time before price returns to the origin of this move, okay, and then continues moving in the direction of the real flows. And so this one here is, I'll be taking this trade, but I'll be watching it carefully because price did spend a lot of time there. Okay, but focusing on the bigger time frame, we can see as well that we are slowly drifting lower. As you can see here, there's no demand here. We do have a little. There's not a lot here. We've got this one here, which looks like it's been removed here, but price is not traded below it. But we've already started to form these lower lows and lower highs, and so reacting at this area here, we can expect potentially that price does something like that, and then moves lower and looks to rebalance any price inefficiencies below price. Okay, we had a major turning point here. We have the beginning of the buy zone here, and then the origin of the move is down here. So we have a few areas that we could watch and take profits at should price respect this level up here. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this video was interesting. If you have any questions, let me know. And thanks again for watching.